back to another Sims 4 Suite build. So today I am making this minimalistic cave house. I've only discussed about this house like once. I think I discussed it in my previous video, but it was one of the builds that I've decided to make that I didn't want to hype up too much just in case I didn't actually do it. It's a build I've been thinking of doing for a really long time. When I say a really long time, I mean like I don't even know when, like I think maybe even August, because I have made builds within this style kind of before, but I haven't entirely done it. Like I've done the the Mako Island house before for my supernatural save that I have also told you guys I'm 110% gonna be doing again because I missed out a lot of key elements within Mako that I really want to do again. So I've always wanted to do this style of housing, like utilizing rocks, because I love using rocks. I do. When I don't have to use terrain. When I have to use terrain, that's when I kind of hate it a little bit. Um, the last time I used rocks and terrain was within the castle. Imagine if I'm lying. I used terrain within the hospital one. Well, that was the previous one, but I last used like terrain and rocks within the castle one. And that's, I won't say I don't like it, just because one thing I loved about the castle was that I was doing traditional architecture. Like I am between the two. I either like doing a really traditional architecture like the castle, or I like doing a very futuristic, modernistic kind of architecture like minimalistic builds. The in between, which is weirdly enough what I normally do anyways, is what's my least favorite because it doesn't feel as explorative as these types of interior designs. Did I say architecture? I'm in architecture and interior design, specifically interior design with minimalistic builds. And I was gonna say that, oh, I'm probably saying it because I'm a bit lazy and I don't like doing interior design. But now that I think of it, this video I had to cut some parts out was gonna be 50 minutes long, which is so wild to me considering this is gonna be around about the same amount of minutes as the small town neighborhood and the cyber city build, even shorter than the medieval build. Like there's one house, and normally my houses flop, but I was like, I don't care. I want to showcase this house because it's one of my favorite architectural types of houses ever. So, what's it called? Yeah, so I love those types of like architect. Yeah, you're gonna see this a lot of boxing. I just found out that if you click, I think it's either I think it's the at and the quotation mark button if you're using a UK keyboard. It can expand it. I didn't know that. It took me a good second and for a good second to learn how not to expand that. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I've been wanting to make this build for a really long time because I really love this architectural type. And I went through Pinterest and a lot, and I'm going to be making more builds like this just because I don't feel like I fully encompass the different versions of minimalism that you can really have when it comes to these types of builds. I was seeing on Pinterest so many things that one thing I 100% wanted to include was the element of having like a circular piece within the middle of the house. So that can sometimes be a pool, sometimes can be something else. But since I decided to do this by the beach, I thought I'll just do a little bit of garden within the middle. Can your Sims access it? No, but you can put a door there if you want your Sims to have accessibility towards it. But I prefer this being something that you can just look down and be like, oh, look. And it like extends out into the ceiling. It's so cool. It extends out into the ceiling. So when it rains, it will rain into your garden thing. So always make sure the garden thing is refreshed and great and everything. However, speaking of like outdoor weather, within this build, what I've decided to do with it, and it's still quite early on within the build for me to be discussing this, but what I did do with this build that's a little bit different is that I did allow there to be an open concept within the kitchen dining area. And it's not that open concept that is a bit nuanced for me. It's the fact that the open concept is somewhat outdoorsy. For example, that with the entrance to the patio that leads to the swimming pool, it is using like the arch, the banner thingies. So it's not quite a door, so it's not quite a room, so it's somewhat outside. It's just got a roof. And if you decide to place this lot anywhere that isn't like a very tropical place like Tartosa or this place like Solani, you might just have to create that outdoor patio into an actual door, and the way you can do that is just creating a wall and then put in an archway there, because I wanted to leave it as it was, because I don't have a archway that is 3 tiles long, and I wanted that door to be specifically 3 tiles long. Also, I didn't want the element of the, I'm doing it now, as you can see, I didn't want there to be an element of a oh wait, I think it's even 4 doors long. No, I think, do I add an extra one? Yeah, I shifted so it is 3 grids. But I didn't want there to also be the elements of there being an arch there. So like, do you know how when you put arches, as thin as they are, you still can see that it is an arch rather than a extension out? I want it to look like a makeshift sliding door. And I was gonna originally put one of the many doors I used within this build, but I was like, I've actually put so many of those. Let me just do something a little bit different, a little bit creative, be a creative on this channel. And yeah, so that's what I decided to do that. But like I said, that's why the lighting is going to be a little bit, oh my gosh, it was so pretty when it was sunset, even when it was sunrise, even during the day. It's just such a pretty bit. I honestly, if I'm really sorry for console players and people who don't download CC or can't download CC. I wish I could make a non-CC version of this, but it's just such, I made it purely with the intent of adding CC in it, because the stuff within this build is inspired by CC, as well as inspiration of what my favorite type of architecture is. Things I will describe, I'm going to go more in depth with it, but I'll say like Harry, Felix Andre, Pierre Sims, all of them really heavily inspired me to create this build. So I will, it's very CC centric. So I don't think I can even make a non-CC version, but I digress. I used a lot of these CC doors within this build because I was just like, I originally, these are like one of my favorite doors ever. The Harry's doors. So there's going to be a CC list within my Patreon. So on my if you go into my description below, I think I will list, if it's a little amount of CCs, I'll still list it in the description, but I'll also have a separate list within the zip file on my Patreon. But on the in the description, if this is not too much CC, I really did this time really trying my hardest not to add too much excess CC. If you go in my description, there should be a list of CC. But the first CC creator I was thinking of when it came to creating this build was Harry, because I love their CC so much. If you don't know who Harry is, you might know them from the collaborations they have with House of Harlix, which is basically Harry and Felix Andre. And they've done a lot of really cool things that a lot of CC users have, such as the Basics, BAYSIC pack, which is one of my favorite packs. And I think I did use it within this build as well. Yeah, I really love Harry's builds because Harry was also someone who first initially brought out different types of pieces for different places within the world. So within the Sims, a lot within the Maxes, and outside of it, you normally get CC very American centric or Western world centric. So you have the odd pieces that are inspired of Europe, but mostly American architecture. But Harry did. And then sometimes you get pieces from Asia, but very rarely, but you very rarely get any pieces inspired from other parts, regardless of those places. And the places that Harry does is they've got these like doors. I didn't actually use them within this build, which is kind of counterproductive, but they've got these doors that I would have used them before I would have used the For Rent ones. Like For Rent was lucky that it came out because I was going to do a build completely inspired by those doors that I saw from Harry's CC folder. But they have these other doors that I love using. They are medium length doors. So the first level is medium. I don't know if the second level is medium, but the second layer is medium. I think the first layer is also medium. This is a medium wall length kind of build. And I really love these doors that you'll constantly see moving around the sun. Did I actually make that too? I think those are two. I think the door that leads to the patio actually ended up making it like a 2 grid one. So you can add an archway and make it an interior, but I like the way the light shines on it when it's an exterior just with a roof. I really love Harry's doors. So when I first started making I think you saw at the beginning of the video, I instantly started putting doors in because I was like, what can I do if not just add doors? Because they are such nice doors. And then you don't see it yet just because I'm just faffing around doing a lot of other things. But I do end up using a lot of Harry's. I think Octavia, it's not Octavia. But I do use a specific pack from Harry. I think two specific packs actually. I think there's the Kawaii. No, I don't use that one. I don't think. I think I do use the one starting with an O. I think I may use one, but I could use two packs for the kitchen. The kitchen and dining area is mostly Harry or its base game. And then there's honestly, when you see the kitchen, it's just so beautiful. And I love the way I lighted this. But anyway, let me stay on topic. I'm talking about the kitchen, so I'm going to continue talking about the kitchen. Oh, wait, actually, before I get into that, I don't normally show myself doing the floor plan, but I think showing myself doing the floor plan was an integral thing for all of you guys to see how I managed to do it. Because I never really showcase it that often because it's very redundant and I'm very confused half the time I'm doing it. And I think you can see here, I'm still kind of like, wait, I want to make this bathroom jointly available, but I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to put this waterfall to make a beautiful waterfall shower. And I know what you're also thinking. Wow, there's been two videos in 1 week where you've made showers that are, when you've made bathrooms that are not that private. Because I think some of you may have noticed that in the medieval one, I also did outdoor bathrooms because I don't know of too many indoor bathrooms. They normally just have like buckets or something, and that's not a thing you can do in The Sims. So I was like, okay, let me add a bathroom, but I don't feel like they would have had the necessary luxury of having that indoor bathroom as well. So I feel like an outdoor bathroom will also be a little bit cute. I like outdoor bathrooms. I'm a very private person, so I don't know how much I would use one if less it was on a private island. But I don't know what I'll ever be doing on a private island for the sake of I am afraid of the ocean. I've said this before. The fact that I live in when I first found out the UK was an island, I hadn't lived, I was scared for it. And I wasn't. I wasn't scared. I was going to say I was scared a little bit because I can't see the ocean where I am because I'm very inland. But if I lived anywhere near the coast, I would not like that. If I lived in Blackpool, if I lived in Devon, if I lived in Brighton, I don't know most places in the East Coast, but if I lived in the West Coast or even like the South Coast, I'll feel a little bit calmer because the South Coast, the waters are lovely, the sand is lovely. South Coast leaning towards the West Coast, the Southwest Coast, because the Southeast Coast, that's pebbles. And some people may like pebble beaches. And if you like pebble beaches, that's your thing. I know that in Peppa Pig, I didn't think I was going to bring up Peppa Pig within this video, but you know, everything, it's a crazy day for everybody. Within Peppa Pig, they do talk about the fun of pebble beaches. It's just, with me, pebble beaches equals discomfort. I would go on a pebble beach for the sake of like looking and foraging. Like I want to see what's going on. I want to feel like an adventurer. But if I want to relax and go to a beach, I'll go to one of the sandier ones, and the sandier ones are near Devon, southeast. So that's where you get like borderline white sand and blue oceans and stuff like that. Blackpool, you will see the why it's called Blackpool. It's very murky, but they're having a beautiful boardwalk and pier. So if you ever want to have like fun family adventures and the Blackpool illuminations, I love all things illuminatory. What? That is not a word. But I love things to do with lights. I love lights. My room is just full of different sources of light, not on all the same time because one, we need to save energy, and two, energy bills are crazy in the UK. But I love all things lights. I really do. And you'll see my love of lights within this build. But in the broad walk within Blackpool, you'll see really beautiful illuminations. So they're called the Blackpool illuminations. And you'll see, I don't know if they still do them, but I already know that you could see it when I was younger, like SpongeBob and all of them's kind of people. And then there was also, I don't know if Nickelodeon Land is still working, but I remember Nickelodeon Land was also in Blackpool. And I just love all things lights. I just think that there's something so pretty about lights. Like I love the stars, but I also love lights. I think when you can get really creative with lights, it's so much fun. I used to all the time when I think ever since a very young age, since I could conceptualize that different lightings can make me happy. I just have been messing with them for the longest time. The only type of lighting that I've never been able to achieve is actually the lighting I do in this house, which is ground lighting. So the light source comes from the ground, which is one of my favorite types of lighting. It's such a beautiful type of lighting. But I've normally messed with like the average lightings that everyone's had, which is like LED lights. I've messed with Hollywood mirror lights. Like I always have my Hollywood mirror on. I messed with disco lights. I've messed with astral projection lights, and I love astral projection. Is it projectors? Not astral projection. Those lights that were really popular during 2020 that like shone light into your like ceiling. Those was so beautiful to me, and I still have one, but I use my disco light. I interchange between. Actually, I said a lie. I said I don't have any floor lights. It's not technically a floor light. It's a lamp on my floor because where the socket is, the outlet is in my house. It's not anywhere near where there's a table. So I have to put my lamp on the floor just because that's where the light can then come from. And I did actually, again, I'm just confusing everything. There is a adapter that comes from another outlet that I can put a lamp next to my bed, but that's too close to me. I won't be able to fall asleep because the light is too bright. I put the lamp on the other side of my room and there's no table there, so I leave it on the floor there, and it creates this beautiful light that comes from like beyond my bed. And when all the lights in my room are turned off, it's just such a calming color. Because I feel like the reason why I like these types of minimalistic builds, these big curtains make me so happy. The reason why I like these minimalistic builds is just they've got this sense of calmness. Like I know a lot of people do not like minimalism builds, and I get that in a way. That's why I would say the ones that I don't particularly like, and I'm not trying to say any celebrity directly, but I'm not the biggest fan of the all white ones. I will create an all white one in the future, but the all white ones that I like that I've seen on Pinterest have elements of color. For example, you'll see a blossom tree in the middle, so there'll be like a circular fountain. Not fountain. Is it fountain? Like a circular pool of water, and then there'll be a blossom tree in the middle, and then the ambient lights will be like red or blue rather than just stark white. But I love those types of white minimalistic houses. But this type of minimalistic house, I like it because of the sake of it's very brown tone, very earthy. It feels very common. It doesn't feel very you don't feel like, oh, I can't make a mess here. Like I've said it before, I'm not the biggest fan of all white interior houses. I've done it before, but I'm not the biggest fan of them because it feels like you can't do anything because something might get messy. And I like some things that feel like, oh, it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit messy. And that's what I feel like when it comes to this build. It feels like you just feel like, okay, I feel really calm here. I can relax here. I can sit here. Still, you need to keep a lot of things clean for the sake of minimalism. So one of the key things that I like to put in my builds now, ever since the pack came out, is I like putting rice cookers because I believe everyone should have a rice cooker. Rice cookers are so efficient. But I couldn't because I would have just added too much space. If I had, I could have made a pantry, but I didn't want to either. I like the very simplisticness of this build, like those fridges and everything like that within the kitchen. The kitchen is so nice. Even that island piece, I didn't talk about it because I wasn't concentrating. I'm so sorry. But even the island piece, I absolutely love the island piece in the kitchen. It's so pretty. And it's something that I thought it could be extended, but it can't be extended. But again, it's something from Harry. So again, it's beautiful. The entire kitchen is mainly Harry. So is the table. I don't think the chairs. I think the chairs may be from somewhere else, but I really do like it. I am at this point. You can see me with the water tank, the fish tank. With the fish tank, then you can see me get the idea that oh yeah, I actually do full lights. Which also like I was saying before I go back to the fish tank, I was saying before I have done builds like this before, but I haven't done it on this channel. So I was saying in my other video, if you go on my TikTok, you can see that I have done a hexagonal build that is not in the gallery because that's got too much CC in it. And it's also like on my other PC. And to start up that PC after using this PC, I don't think I will have the mental effort to just try and use it. Maybe I'll try and remake it one day. But I did do a minimalistic build there. And that's I did I think an entire part of Oasis Springs was just all minimalistic builds, which had, I'm not going to talk about it again because you guys heard it, but it had like the Fortress of Solitude and all of these other things. Like it was a very, very nice neighborhood and it was very cool and everything like that. But it was like, I really do want to just try and redo it because it was such a pretty neighborhood. Like there was even this one house that had a yoga studio that extends on the side. I now realize why I made that type of neighborhood. I must have just downloaded Spa Day and just been completely and utterly inspired because Spa Day is one of the key packs that is non-CC that I use. Like you can see me putting one of those Spa Day spheres there as well. It's one of the key packs that I used within this build that isn't CC. I think the other key packs were it's not a pack, it's a kit. Desert Looks. I think I used almost every single piece from Desert Looks except for the sofa that comes with it. But then everything else I did use because Desert Looks was one of the like key things I was thinking of because this is like a cave house. But this cave house you can not so you can place in the desert like I said before. I think this kids go really nice in, I forgot the world's name again, the world for a horse ranch. I think this house can look really nice. I think it can look nice in Oasis Springs as well, Strangerville, if you try and force it. But the reason why I put it here is because the storytelling wise, it can make sense because this is part of my celebrity. I feel like I could have just done sofas that were straight. Now look at it. I could have done sofas so straight, but I kept messing around and I did a circular sofa. If you guys get rid of the sofa and make it into like straight sofas, I will not be offended because I feel like the straight sofas actually did look nice, but I kind of wanted it to curve inwards. But anyway, I'm losing track of my thoughts. I did put this build in my celebrity save file. So since it's in my celebrity save file, I wanted to add these Sims that I have this really crazy life and this good life. And I feel like this build, especially with how I've done the outdoor bathrooms, makes the most amount of sense within just a private island, just because nobody's going to be coming in here. And since it's also a private island, they have a helicopter pad on the roof of said building. I just think that's just so pretty. Now I look back on it, why is there a garage? Because I don't think they'll be driving out of it again since they're surrounded by water, but the helicopter could pick it up. So imagine arriving somewhere and the helicopter drops your car before it drops you. um that would be really cool. Even the helicopters are very dangerous and they are not the most energy efficient things to be using, but this is the Sims. um no, I was going to talk about the different types of CC I've used in order to create this. So let me just get into that. So the main CC creators I'm aware of is there's this one CC creator. Always forget the name. Something, I think it's like a winged llama. A winged llama? I think it's a winged llama. Used the plants the one. So I don't know if it was boho, shiko, problem therapy, or both, but I did use theirs. I did use elements of the bathroom kit from my cup of CC, I think. Maybe my cup of CC, I'm not too sure. But I did use the bathroom kit specifically for the plants and only the plants. I did use, those were like the little ones that I used, like, so you don't necessarily need to have them in order to do this build. You can just do. Sorry about that. My computer turned off and then I was confused. So this audio may be a little bit delayed or ahead, I don't know. But yeah, like I was saying before, those are the like little ones in my cup of CC's bathroom kit, and then the winged llamas, either boho chic or apartment therapy. I'm not too sure. Those are the little packs that I use within this build. But the big packs I use is Harry. You need Harry to download this house if you choose to have this house, for the sake of it's the doors, it's the windows, it's the kitchen. Like it's a very big pack. Another big pack I used within this build, and Harry is also what got me the sofas as well, so you kind of like need to have Harry's stuff to have this house. Who also used a lot of is PS Sims is what's it called MCM. So I used, I think, part one, part two, and part three for it. And I also used PSM's David Apartment. I think I used part one, part two, and part three for that as well. So I used to MC. I was originally going to just do Harry and maybe just PSM's MCM, but then David's Apartment was just looking at me. And I can never do a build without David's Apartment, so I had to put it in. So yeah, I did end up using David's Apartment, but like for example, I'm looking at the bedroom. You could not be looking at the bedroom, I don't know, but I did use, I think I used the MCM's clones. So the things in the wall, the attachments in the wall, that is MCM, so that is PSMs, and then the sofas are also MCM, and then the bed I think is MCM as well. I think all the beds are MCM. And then I also used, what else did I use? I used the bedroom is David's apartment. Yeah, not the bedroom. The closet is David's apartment, but there's also elements with MCM when it comes to the vanity. So it's just like it's a Harry and PSM type of building, but there are elements of a winged llama, there's elements of Michael Passisi, and there are elements of Felix Andre, because I think I also do use Felix Andre when it comes to bits of the bathroom as well. So yeah, I think that's like the majority of the CC. Again, any CC that I've probably forgotten. Oh, and I also use, is it, are they PSM? I think PSM did Tiny Twaffles. I did use Tiny Twaffles. It sounds so funny coming out of my Tiny Travelers, but it's pronounced Twaffles because, you know, toddlers. Yeah, I did use Tiny Travelers in terms of the artwork. So the artwork is a mixture of MCM and Tiny Twaffle because I love CC the most when it comes to artwork and when it comes to mirrors. CC, when it comes to artwork and mirrors, is unmatched. And I think that's the only time I ever feel truly like saddened by the fact that I'm not able to use CC because they are just, again, very diverse and a lot of things to do with them. And I love them so much. So I think that's like, I think that's one of the key elements I've also added within this build as well. What else did I do in terms of this build? But wait, I was talking about love and desert minimalistic builds because if you go on Pinterest, like I'm not going to talk about Pinterest a lot, but if you do go on Pinterest, they do have a lot of images. If you type in like a cave house or something like that, they do have like a lot of like images of cave houses and the minimalism and stuff like that. I want to do so much more, but the rocks that we have, I would need to probably have like duplicate them a lot, but I don't want to add too many rocks because that's why like some of them are really big and some of them aren't, because if you add too many rocks, it will lag down your game because you've added too much things within the build itself. But speaking of rocks, actually, when it came to making this build, I have done, like I said before, I have done a lot of builds with rocks. But specifically with this build, when it came to the rocks, I allowed those rocks to stay. When I do other builds, I make sure those rocks are not poking in within the actual build itself because it can ruin like the illusion and stuff. This is a cave house, so I decided to keep the rocks. And at first, I was like, this is not gonna look that great. It looks so pretty with the rocks. And again, this is another aspect within the build that could be an acquired taste just because rocks show it in through the build. It's an acquired thing, but I think it also looks really nice when the walls are down as well and when the walls are up. It just is so nice with those rocks poking in through within the build. They poke through a lot more within the bathroom and I think the third bedroom because there are 3 bedrooms. I haven't done a lot of builds with 3 bedrooms, but there are 3 quite big bedrooms and there are rocks poking in through it. One of the I love both bathrooms that I've done for this house. There are only 2 bathrooms, and if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to come all the way downstairs. Because I think one of the things, again, I can say one of the things. I think I don't know what else to say, but one of the things. What else would you say? Comment down below, tell me another way to say one of those things without saying one of those things out. No, but it's okay. You don't need to comment that. I'll just Google it after I finish doing this voice recording. But when you know, I'm gonna say it. You're gonna be like really conscious with it now, just because I've pointed it out. But one of the things I've lost my train of thought just because I was going off of the rant of that. Oh yeah, one of the things that I don't necessarily like when doing bigger builds. Again, this is not a mansion either because I am still yet to do a mansion. I think I spoke about it a little bit with my hospital about I'm still yet to do. I am still yet to do a mansion. I am currently in the mental process of preparing myself to do a big build because I feel like I want to make a city/town neighborhood. And I'm thinking, do I either do Gotham because I'm a really big DC fan? And even though my favorite superhero within DC, well, not one of my favorite superheroes within DC, but like when someone says, think of a superhero, DC, quick, Superman. I like Superman. I don't want to do Metropolis because Metropolis is boring. Metropolis is like San Myshuno. That's what I think of Metropolis. I want to do Gotham because I love Batman almost just as much as I love Superman, if not very, very closely. So yeah, I kind of do want, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I do want to do Gotham, but I also want to do a post-apocalyptic world because I've been seeing a lot of videos within my, I was going to call it a For You page, my recommendations. I was seeing a lot of videos on my recommendations of post-apocalyptic builds, and I was looking at them and I was like, okay, I feel inspired. I want to do it. But I also want to do a smaller build just because I feel like this week I've done a lot of big builds. And even though I'm not burnt out, if I do one more big build, I feel like I'm going to push myself into burnout. So I'm probably going to do an apocalyptic video, but an apocalyptic video, a post-apocalyptic video. I'm not gonna do an apocalyptic video. Can you sense that I'm really excited about this film? I'm really happy with this. Like I'm so happy to be showcasing you guys this thing. But yeah, I really want to do a post-apocalyptic build, but I think the next build I'm gonna do is probably gonna be the RV, I hope, or something, or a multifunctional community lot, but that won't come out until Monday because I am sticking to my schedule of Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And as much as I want to upload on Sunday, it will ruin my schedule and I'll get burnt out. So I'm going to upload again on Monday. I'm probably going to build during the weekend, but I'm not going to focus on the fire. I'm going to build leisurely. I'm not going to like build with the mind frame of this needs to come out the next day. I need to finish this for the next day. I need to do this. I'm just going to build whatever gets done first is whatever comes out on Monday. Um, but yeah, oh wait, actually, now I realize it. I did use, there's gonna be an optional pack. I used this exercise bike from one of these gym packs, so it's gonna be an optional thing. Sorry, I'm just looking at the rocks poking through in this laundry room, but look how pretty it looks. I originally wanted to, I think you saw before, I originally was gonna do brown as the counters. I'm happy I didn't stick to brown because I feel like the black really makes it pop. And yeah, no, I'm on to do it. Well, actually, I just realized my audio could be out, but I am doing the garage now and the gym within the garage. And I love doing a little gym here because look at the lighting. I feel like I might just, someone suggested to me to do a gallery. I really want to do a gallery, but I don't know what style to do the gallery. I don't know if I should do it traditional old style. So it's like like really old style, like kind of like similar what you will find in like London old architecture, or if I should do ultra modern style because I feel like ultra modern style will be so much fun. That, and if I'm going to do a gallery, I'm going to do a restaurant or I'm going to do a cafe with, oh my god, the video is going to end soon. Yeah, there was so many more things that I had to discuss about this house, but yeah, cave houses are the ones. If you have the time, please go and look at like cave houses on Pinterest. But if also, this should have been something I discussed at the beginning of the video, but if you also don't want to listen to my voice, please watch this video, but put like one of my favorite YouTube accounts is Dreamscape. Put on any playlist by Dreamscape because that's what I was listening to. Dreamscape. That's what I was listening to was I was building this. I was just listening to that and it was just really getting me in the mood. And the beginning, the music was very Stranger Things style, wasn't it? But yeah, this is my beautiful minimalist house that I wish one day I could live in because it is so nice. And it does look like a bit of like, it does look like someone took a dump on an island, but it's okay. It's okay. It looks nice. You just have to have like a unique kind of taste to like it. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.